Welcome everyone to the Quidditch Roundtable here at World Cup 8 in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I'm Brad Woznicki, joined now by Ethan Sturm, managing editor for 8 Man, along with Noah Schwartz, the writer and the podcast producer for 8 Man. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, glad to come.
So far, we're about to get ready for round number 4. Let's talk about teams, or let's start actually first with a game that has surprised you the most as far as the outcome.
From what I've seen, the way RPI came out against Baylor,
I was
really impressed us both. They're from the Northeast.
They haven't impressed us this season.
Haven't really impressed us this season, and they came out against a really top team and created a lot of good opportunities. It was impressive to see them just kind of move the ball around really well against a team like that.
I'm going to go a little mainstream, something you guys all watched over here, which was the Lost Boys Texas State game. Obviously, there's been talk about who's going to be able to hang with the Southwest teams, and the Lost Boys, who are beaten up and bruised with multiple injuries on the day, to not just hang with them, they were up 30, and I mean, we all saw what happened. The ending was just crazy. I don't think a lot of people thought the Lost Boys were going to be up 30 on Texas State.
No. Yeah, and the Lost Boys coming in as the number 3 seed overall leads us right to what's been your most surprising team so far here in World Cup 8?
I think the way Rochester's put it all together, they just recently added a lot of new players, a lot of talented players, but what I've been surprised by is just how hard it is to win games here now. As soon as you get to the second round, third round, games become extraordinarily hard. And for Rochester to go up against Maryland, who was one of the top seeds ranked-wise here, I think they're the number 1 seed in Flight 2, was incredible to watch. They went toe-to-toe with them and losing on a snitch grab. I believe y'all saw that game too. But the way Rochester's really put their pieces together quickly has been impressive.
Obviously, the team we just played, the Scroots, they already took down Ohio State, the Midwest champions. They had us on the ropes, no doubt about that, being the Northeast champions. And this is a team that struggled at Western Regionals, wasn't even in the semifinals. And this is what they do every year. They were the last West team standing last year. They made it all the way to the round of 16. And they are a smart team, and the West has them figured out. They've played them a ton of times. But when the rest of the country has to play them, their style of play makes it really difficult on you.
Yeah, and once again, congratulations on your win over the Scroots in our previous broadcast. Looking forward now, do you guys have a Cinderella team do you think could be in the Final Four, maybe in the championship tomorrow?
I don't know how. I guess there always has to be a Cinderella, right? Because that's what happens every year. It's never a standard semifinals. Right. You always have the Texas State or the Florida. Because if I don't want to be too risky about it, I can say the Gambits. I thought the Gambits looked really good early in the day. I haven't seen them more recently, but they move the ball well. They know what they're doing out there. If I wanted to go a little further, I don't know, maybe that Rochester team.
Potentially. This isn't going to be a Cinderella because they're ranked so high, but the way the Lost Boys, even with all the injuries, are definitely being counted out right now, and you cannot, as we saw earlier.
They have too many incredible individual players, right. And in that game against Texas State, Missy Spinagle, who I don't know what her injury status is, but something.
She's got a brace on her knee.
Yeah, and she subbed in only because their other female beater got hurt, and she was out there having just a game like she always does.
Yeah, I mean, she dodged her bludger jumping up, letting it go between her legs, and she's clearly hobbled on a knee injury.
They have so much individual talent that you can't count them out.
Right.
Now a different format for this year's World Cup 8, the Swiss format. Led to teams in the first round not having to face teams from their same region. Didn't have the top-ranked teams going against one another. What are your overall thoughts on this year's format?
Oh my God! Well, this is his brainchild. He was the one that really pushed this format, and I think Ethan got spot on. As you get into further and further rounds, the best teams are playing each other. And I just mentioned earlier how hard it is to get wins. We played a very tough UVA team in our second round. Just played an incredible Scroots team. Winning 3 games at this World Cup has been so difficult, and it's been difficult for everybody. That's what's been so great.
The best teams. And I keep going back to this Lost Boys Texas State team. I need to stop doing this, but it was on this pitch, and it was maybe 12, 1 in the afternoon. That's a time where everybody's blowing out everybody in previous years, and nobody's caring about the games. These bleachers were packed, and it was a crowd like a finals or semifinals crowd. And that to me is the biggest victory of Swiss play. To have games that matter and exciting games on day one, and we're not just wasting a day to get to the teams we know are going to be in the bracket.
I think the way that they set up the refereeing system has been really great. They've assigned very talented refs to kind of the 2 main fields and beyond, and the reffing staffs that I've seen has been some of the best ref staffs who've gotten the calls right pretty much 99% of the time on the best games.
Going forward, you have the Lone Star Quidditch Club, the number 1 overall seed. Only 1 loss the entire season. As I said, number 1 overall seed. But then you have the University of Texas at Austin, 2-time defending champs. If you had to give the edge to one of those 2 teams, which one do you think will take the cup?
talent-wise, I think Lone Star has an edge. But you never underestimate the heart of a champion. And we saw it last year when A&M came in undefeated into the World Cup, and UT was able to go beat them in the semifinals, and then go on to beat Texas State in the finals. They get it figured out day two. They come out with a passion and fire that has been unmatched in recent years.
UT also had the easiest route last year because their pool play, their bracket play run was tough, but they had a very easy pool play. And so far, Lone Star's been lucky enough to have that kind of pool play run. Their third game to play a Tennessee Tech team that just was never going to hold a candle to them. Just got them a free game. Obviously, we're about to have Texas State Lone Star. It's about to get a lot harder for them. And we promise you're not missing this game. Me and Noah are not making you miss this big game. But it's going to come down to that. It's going to come out who gets out of that game without injuries, who stays fresh. UT and Baylor haven't been paired up yet for their fourth game. If they get paired up, then everyone's in the same boat. But if one of them maybe is the 3-0 in that pool that gets paired down, or flight that gets paired down, suddenly they have another easy game, and they are the team who's getting more rested going into Sunday.
One more question I have for you guys before I let you go is, looking at this venue that we have here at Manchester Meadows. In the past, you've been in Kissimmee, Florida. Last year in North Myrtle Beach. Both of those were great venues. What are your thoughts on the overall venue here at Manchester Meadows in Rock Hill, South Carolina?
I think the venue's fantastic. The fields are great. The conditions are, I would say, beautiful. They're beautiful for me.
Texas boy over here.
You couldn't pick a more perfect venue. I think this is the kind of atmosphere. These are the kind of fields that you want to have.
Yeah, I think this venue's beautiful. I always have my reservations about coming all the way down here. When you could maybe go to a big city, maybe bigger crowds, but these two turf fields are fantastic, and they're great atmospheres. And those grass fields, the grass is in great shape. Really hard to complain about that. So yeah, I've been impressed with the facilities. And shout out to Winthrop, who you said was behind this broadcast, and they're in Rock Hill, right? Winthrop.
They are.
Yeah, so it's great that we have the people who come in here to do that. It's awesome.
Ethan, Noah, thank you for joining me here on this roundtable. The first, hopefully we'll have one more before this day is done, but next we have the #1 overall seed, the top team in the country, Lone Star Quidditch Club, taking on Texas State. We'll have that one coming up for you very soon here on the live stream on the U.S. Quidditch.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to y'all too.
Yeah.